Good evening and happy Halloween. So tonight is October 28th, 2021, and the season of gardening is pretty much over around here. I don't know. I know a lot of you that are down in the warmer areas still have a long ways to go, but we are wrapping it up very, very quickly. So I'm just going to take a few minutes and let people start coming into the chat. And I just want to say thank you very much. If you are watching this on the replay, I really do appreciate that. And feel free to make sure to let me know you watched it. And if you have any input that you want to give us on the collab tonight, then make sure to drop that down into the comment section and we can interact and make a deal. Let's make a deal. Hey, Pure Pondering, how are you this evening? Nice to see you. Welcome in. I keep trying different techniques. I was trying to do a countdown timer tonight and I couldn't get it. I couldn't figure out how to add it to the stream. I made the countdown timer. I couldn't figure out how to add it to the stream. So next time we will do that for sure. So I just want to say thank you. Oh, we have Southern Roots in the room and Vanessa Buckner. Thank you very, very much for coming. Don't forget to hit the like button. And I was just saying that my season here is pretty much done. Donezo. I was talking clock watch 30 minutes until we can lock the door. I hear ya. Hey, Zaza Bang, Mountain Homestead, Black's Tropical. Thank you. You like the... Yeah, I thought I'd jazz it up a little bit tonight. How do people wear wigs on a regular basis? Like, this thing is so hot. I had to turn the fan on in here. Like, I am melting. This thing is so hot. I guess most people aren't wearing the cheap, like, what, $3 Urban Planet Halloween wig. But, oh. And it keeps... I'm shedding. My husband's going to wonder why there's pink hair all over the office tomorrow. So, oh, thank you for coming in. Yeah, I was saying, I was talking to my husband today that for the rest of the, like, for gardening for the rest of the year, I basically have to wait for my first big frost. And then I will be digging up the canna lilies. And those are going to get dug up and put out into the... on the deck to dry out, and then they'll get stored for the winter. So I have canna lilies that I'm going to be doing that with. I have calla lilies, and in my upcoming video you will see I have a sweet potato that grew from my sweet potato vine. So that was a surprise. I pulled out the roots and I was like, what the heck is this? There's a sweet potato in here. So I'm going to overwinter that and see if I can't. I'm going to have to go check with Guten Gardening and see if he can let me know how to go around shitting the sweet potato vine. So it's not the edible one, but probably I could eat it, but I'm going to save it and see if I can't get more vines off of it next year. So I have that. And then I have another mystery bulb, which I should show a picture of and ask people what it is. But it's like this white bulb, and it grew in my hanging basket with the hyacinth bean vine. So I keep forgetting to Google to see if the hyacinth bean vine grows like a tuber. It's just like a little, like a white potato or something that was in there. So that was a nice surprise. Oh, G Mama. Hey, G Mama. Welcome. Hello, Tammy. Thank you so much for coming. Tammy, Southern Root, we got a lot in the chat tonight. Thank you. I know I'm a little bit early tonight, but I'm trying to figure out the live times. I know Eco is going on at 6:15, and then I know that Ridgeline goes on at 9, and I was just trying to... There's so many lives going on now. I just was trying to slide it in. That, and I was up super early this morning again because Gizmo, our dog, decided that, 3 a.m. was a good time to have to go use the washroom. So he woke us up at 3, and then again at 4, and then he wanted breakfast at 5. So it was a very early morning. So I figure, you know what, if I start a little bit earlier, then we can end a little bit earlier. So everyone is getting to know each other in the chat. So I do have the chat open in StreamYard, and I'm having it open over on YouTube as well, but not playing that one. And I'm trying to make sure that I keep up with the chat. I don't know. I never seem to have a problem running behind with the chat. I don't know. So if I get really behind with the chat, let me know and tell me, yo, you're way behind with the chat. You are not late. You are right on time. Jesse and Lisa. Is it both of you? Is it one of you? Who's here? From Lazy Days Ahead. Hey, Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD chick. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you very much. So you wore a wig 3 years ago for Halloween. I thought I was going to die. See, I've worn a wigs before, but only like for Halloween out trick-or-treating, and it's usually cold and or rainy, and so the wig is a really nice, I wear it instead of a hat. But tonight I thought, you know what, I'll just throw it on just for a little bit of fun. And yeah, it might be coming off in not too long because it's kind of itchy too, because it's like scratching my neck up a bit. Hey, Aunt Tia, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you all don't know, you've probably seen Aunt Tia in everybody's chats, the very, very supportive, wonderful lady. And she just started her own channel. She's got a few videos up, so make sure you go over and check out her channel. And when I remember to add, oh, I forgot to add you as a mod. Can I add you now in here? I have to do it in the StreamYard thing. I can do it for my touchpad, which I will have my daughter bring me later. Sorry about that. I forgot I was going to add you before I went live. My beautiful background. I miss this beautiful background. This beautiful background behind me is the beach in Cuba from 2020. Yeah, we did manage to go to Cuba right before the you-know-what hit the you-know-what. So we lucked out. Remember, we were there in January of 2020, and we were watching the news, and we were like, what is going on in China? And then we got back to Toronto August 29th, and they announced like later the next week on the news that the first two positive tested people came in on a flight on the 29th, which was like, excuse me? But fortunately their flight was later than ours, because ours was like at 2 in the morning. So I think, but yeah, it just kind of, that's when this picture of the beach was back when life was normal and we did not know what was coming. So I do enjoy looking at it because it is relaxing. You're both here, but you're without power. There is over 180,000 without power. What? What? You guys are in Houston, right? You're in the city, right? So yeah, listen, if your phone's going to die or whatever, do not feel compelled to stay. I appreciate you coming in and using up valuable battery life. So thank you so much for coming. Okay, so I kind of mentioned this briefly in my last live. I've figured out a little bit more about it, but not a ton. So, oh, hey, Kiki's here. Thank you, Kiki. You are my only mod right now until I get my touchpad from my daughter and add lazy days. So since you're here, I do have one little request. Can you please post Aunt Tia's link, since we haven't had her, since she's got a new channel up. And I'm not going to ask you to be like stressing out tonight. Just sit back and relax, right? How are you? Hi, what is she up to now? How are you? Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, I thought I'd jazz up. I actually had this, it's like this vampire cape thing. And so it's just like this black cape, and it's got like pink tie in the front, and then it's got like this foam thing that gives me like, you know, the vampire thingy. And I took it out of the bag, and it was like the foam had like totally disintegrated and fallen apart. And I'm like, it made this horrible mess. So I'm in the bathroom sweeping it up before I came on here. So that was a bad idea. So, okay, so my crafty collab ideas, and I will open up the panel to anyone that wants to come up and chat, and we can just hang out. It doesn't have to be anything super formal or anything like that. But if you know anything about me, you know that I love a good spreadsheet. So I have posted this link down below. I got to double check on like the name of what I want to call it. I don't know if there's any kind of like copyrights or whatever, but I want to do some kind of a 12 days of giveaways or some kind of like a holiday themed videos. I'm thinking like December 1st, I'll do a quick intro video on my channel, kind of explaining what is to come. And then the next 13 days, so it'll be a total of 12. I'm not stuck on that number. It seems to be a number a lot of shows do. So I don't know. We can pick whatever number we want, but let's say we do 12 days. So then the next day I can do a video. We can decide if we want to do it as lives or if we want to do it as videos. If you want me to just talk about, this is your channel and this is the craft that you do. So if you're into quilting or sewing or soap making or candle making or woodworking or whatever it is, I can either just kind of talk about it and show video clips for you and pictures, and or you can send me a video clip. So it could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes long, however long you want to make it. Just kind of about your craft, about what you do, especially if you have another channel that features it, or if you want to feature it more on your channel. If you have an Etsy, bless up from Scarborough. Whoop, whoop. Scarborough's in the house. Scarborough's in the house. Thank you so much for coming. How are your balconies, Zaza? How are your balconies coming along? Are they getting finished? Oh, Kiki is saying hi to everybody. So here, yeah, I'll put the link up into this chat. This is the link to the spreadsheet, and you should be able to go in and adjust it. So if you have trouble on there, it doesn't let you, let me know. But I think I opened it to where anyone with a link can go and mess around with it. So it is a very simple spreadsheet. And you know what? I'm just going to share it. I can share it. That's what I can do. All right, we'll share this spreadsheet. Woohoo! I'm getting a much better today. Okay, so here it is. It is very simple. It has my email address at the top here if you need any questions or you want to message me. The title and the date. So over here we have the channel name. Can I make this any bigger? Let me see if I can make it bigger. That just makes the screen bigger. All right, so we have the channel name, your first name, your craft, if you want to do an actual video collab, if you have something, some kind of a giveaway. I'll talk more about giveaways in a bit, or anything else. So you can put your name and information on here, and this way I can coordinate and see how many people will be involved, right? Because if I'm doing 13 days, you're still on stalling mode. Typical construction project. Yeah. Spoken by a contractor, so I get it. And especially right now, like a lot of supplies are backed up. Like we're struggling to get a hold of some of the supplies that we need for work. They're just not, it's not in stock right now, so it's a problem. I need to do a video of Micah painting and some of the paintings. She's beautiful. That's awesome. I keep forgetting painting. I keep thinking, because I don't, because I suck at it. And not that I do woodworking either, but for some reason, the pink wig seems like so much fun. It is fun. That and the glass of wine I had with dinner, so that's helpful. That's probably why I'm wearing the pink wig. Who knows? We'll never know. Yeah, so, oh, thank you so much, Zaza. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. So yeah, so like if I get like 13, we have 12 days so far. If I get 12 people to sign up, that will be one person every day. If I get more than that, I can add more. If we get 24, Bonnie is volunteering to paint. Thank you, Bonnie. I can paint. I can't paint. I can't paint. You can paint. What are you saying? You're making fun of me for saying I can't paint? I'm really glad. I'm really glad. I'm so glad to hear you are going in my ear. Have my phone on speaker so I don't get a crick in my neck from listening to hold music. Oh, no. Oh, hold music's the worst. Yeah. That, oh, it's terrible. Like, why can't they get decent hold music? Okay, so yeah, Bonnie, you can paint. She's excellent. If you haven't checked out Artist in a Garden, go check her out. She did this beautiful mural on the back of her bunkie by the pond this summer. Absolutely stunning. The flower on there is just beautiful. I should have had her come and do a mural in my bedroom. Maybe next year. Yeah, so depending on how many people sign up will kind of depend on how it is structured. Thanks, sweetie. Thank you. I am not going to be a wig person on a regular basis. I can tell this is really driving me nuts. It keeps going in my eyeball. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you to everybody. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. But yeah, so I am trying to decide if, and maybe I'll just leave it up to the people. Like if you feel comfortable with it being a live, then that day's video, we can go live, because I don't know, I think lives are more fun and they're actually a lot less work. But yeah, if you want to send me a video clip, now let's say you have another channel or even on your channel and you've done like a full-length video, or you want to do a full-length video about your craft, then what you could do is send me just like a little clip. So think of it like a commercial for your fuller video. Off the top of my head, I think of Danny at Wicked Awesome Gardening. She did a video earlier this, I keep looking at the chat to see what people are saying, and I'm not looking into the camera. I apologize. Everyone just saying, hey, hey, thanks for coming. So Bonnie did a video, not Bonnie, sorry. She just commented. She's on the brain. Danny did a video, Wicked Awesome Gardening, on melon. Thanks. I'm 12. I can't even say that without laughing. Yes, she made melon hammocks. So she has a crochet tutorial on her channel to make little hammocks to hang your, melons or gourds or anything that gets too heavy and isn't going to fall. And so what I'm going to talk with her about, hopefully, is the fact that she can maybe make up a quick little video or break that video down into smaller little bits for me to use on my channel. Now, I talked to someone who has done collabs before, and they said, any video that you send to me to upload and to put into, like, say, a collage videos, as soon as I upload that video to YouTube, that footage is now mine. So you cannot then take that same footage you send me and put it up on your channel, because YouTube will automatically give you a copyright strike. So just keep that in mind. Maybe make two if you want to put one up on your channel as well, make two different kinds of videos. Or that might be why doing like more of a lives should be, might be better, right? So I do just want to let you know that if you think, oh, this was fun, I'm just going to throw it up on my channel too, you might get in trouble. Like, I'm not going to copyright you on it, but YouTube might automatically do that, because that's what they do, I guess. So I do want to, I spend the winter with sewing wigs. I love them. Oh, that is so cool. That is really cool. I did not know that, Kiki. So apparently you wear them and you sew them. I tried wearing your wig years ago, but I spent most of the time trying to. That's where I'm at right now. It's kind of like back in the, I don't know if you remember the mid to late 90s. Those little neckties, the little neck scarves were really popular. Like, they had them all over at like Limited and all these little places that all these different little neckties, you kind of look like a little cute little stewardess or whatever. And so I went all in. I was like, oh my God, these are adorable. I love these. And I bought a bunch of them. They could not last more than 5 minutes. I don't know if they ever made it like where I went. Like, they came off in the car. I had a stash of these stupid little necktie thingies in my car because I just chucked them. I couldn't stand having anything tight on my neck. Ugh. No one remembers those, just me. I was alone. I was alone in that trend. Oops. So very interesting, Kiki. That's really cool. Not on my gardening channel. Why not? Throw it up there. Why not? Be interesting. Or go throw it over on Gigi's. I swear to God, at least once a week, I see the promo for Gigi's natural hair video from like 7 years ago. And it's just like, why? Like, it's such an older, it's great. I hope she's getting a lot more views on it because they're throwing it out there. But I just find it funny. It's like 7 years ago. What? You used to wear chokers? Oh. See, I can't handle anything up above my collarbones. Like, in the winter, I can wear like a puffy scarf. I have a ton of the infinity scarves. I don't mind a scarf if it's cold out, but I can't handle like a turtleneck or even like a boat neck shirt. I get really, really claustrophobic. I had epiglottitis when I was 6 months old, which basically means your throat, like, I guess, well shut. I don't know. I was in the hospital for about a week. I had tubes down my throat and had IVs all in my hair. And since I was 6 months old, so I was strapped down to the crib. And so I don't know if it's just trauma for that, but I have very bad claustrophobia, and the thought of anything touching my neck just freaks me out. I just no. So I don't know why I thought the necktie thing would be a good idea. It would just, like, my sister was wearing them. Everyone else had them on. I thought they were cute. And they would kind of like go with your outfit. So it was kind of like, the guy wears the puff and it kind of ties everything together. I tried that. I can't even try like standard necklaces. If you ever see me wear a necklace, I'm almost always wearing a longer necklace. I just, so that's my little, yeah, it was traumatizing for my mom. I can't even imagine going through that with a 6 month old. Like, I don't remember it, but, and apparently, like, yeah, then like the IVs, they had the IVs in my head. because my arms were too tiny, and then the IV slipped. And so they had to shave my whole front section of my hair. They had to shave it. And then because the IV slipped, it all swelled up. So yeah, it was pretty traumatizing for the family. But and it's funny because like looking back through pictures of me, like my hair, like I never really ended up having bangs until about like grade 5 or 6, but you can see like it just kind of came in different. I think just because the way they had to shave it was kind of, I had like an awkward grow out phase from that big time when I was a baby. Mom would try to cover it with hair bows or whatever. So, but yeah, so I think that's, I think I'm glad. I think that is why I have the whole neck thing. If not, it sounds good. It's a good excuse, right? So, does anyone have any ideas? Does anyone want to, oh, how do I do this? Sure. Nope. Invite. Here we go. So I'll throw this out there if anyone wants to come up and talk about any ideas that they have. If you think we should do it like as like little videos and like each person, I'll just kind of do a little intro video and then you can go along. Or I could do like a live where you actually come on and do the live, or I could do the live and show your video clip, kind of like Joe does at Garden State Gardener. Just kind of what you think, and we could change it up. I could change up the format each day. It doesn't have to be the same for everything. Change it up. I would also like to do some kind of a freebie. So not necessarily a giveaway, because I know, especially at the beginning of December, we are all going to be swamped. We are going to be busy. It is holiday season for most religions have something going on in either November or December. I know up here, Diwali is very big. That's happening soon. And then the States, you know, there's Christmas and there's Hanukkah and there's just a lot of other holidays that are happening kind of in and around with the different areas here. Thank you, Stacy. Welcome all the way from Jamaica. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. So I want people to want to come back each day and watch the video, because they will get something from it, but not necessarily a giveaway. I'm going to be busy. I don't want to have to be mailing anything out. And I know a lot of us are tight on money. We've got family to take care of with gifts and presents. A lot of people that are doing crafts, they are swamped at that time of year. So and then instead of just having it be one person that wins it, it's something that everyone can win, so to speak. So I want to do some freebies. And bare minimum, I will just put up a few links each day to free patterns that I'm aware of, that I love. So they could be sewing patterns, they could be crochet patterns, they could be knitting patterns. I do have quite a few friends that are in like the sewing pattern world, and I've talked to a few of them about either maybe getting a pattern code that we could use that people could download from their site. Hopefully something, preferably a new pattern, a new release. I know Sophiona is coming out with their lookbook in November, so that could be exciting. So I have mentioned maybe getting, you know, like a code Brampton Gardener, and you know, today only, you can go to their website and download X pattern, or you can, or like a discount code or something like that, where people can you know, especially if they want to try something new, right? So I know there's a lot of people that sew, but they've only ever sewn a quilt, or they've only ever sewn this. So I'm thinking maybe that will be an idea out there. How's that sound? Hey, Anne, thank you so much for coming. Glad you caught me. Hi, Gail. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm drinking my guava juice. There you go, Tina. She was drinking it the other night, and I was like, ooh, I want to open my guava juice, but I still have the big giant mango juice in the fridge from Costco, so I was like, I can't open that. So my daughter finished off the mango juice at dinner tonight, so I was like, woohoo, I can open the guava now. We always had like limited room in the fridge because everything we buy is at Costco, and so everything comes in these huge containers that just take up so much room in the fridge. But I will not stop shopping there. So all right, so I'm going to post the link again to the, oh, you know, I'm going to post the link here. If anyone wants to come up, Gail, you want to come up? Anne, you want to come up? Anyone wants to come up? If you have any ideas that you want to share on how you think we should go about this. I'm kind of thinking of hoping to come up with some kind of a, designing a pattern myself for a paper piece pattern. So if anyone that does any quilting is into like paper piece patterns, that's really hard to say, then that could be kind of a fun thing. And the idea is it's not like everyone is going to be interested in that craft, but if I'm showing, you know, I have a day and I'm showing, you know, one person's painting, and then the next person's making candles, and then the next person's baking something, and the next person's, you know, making jewelry. When someone's watching the video, they might come to watch it because they're into, you know, candle making or baking. And then they might see one of the other crafts in the video and be like, oh, my friend loves to do that, or my daughter loves to do that, and share the link out to them. So the whole point is to try and get as many eyes on the videos, so we get as many eyes as we can on all the different contributors, and really help to boost our viewership, and just kind of open it up and bring in new viewers that would be interested in some of the things we do on the channel. Sounds like a tongue twister. I'm sorry. So do you have any crafty, well, I know you're crafty, sweetie pie. And we're not going to ask for any, you know, like spray pop bottle art or anything like that. But yeah, if you, did I post the link to the spreadsheet again? Yes, here it is. So when you get a chance, and I will post it in the description down below if I haven't already done that. I can only do crafts with glue. Hey, I'm there for it. Before I learned how to sew, oh man, I was happy with a hot glue gun, let me tell you. Yeah, I did hot gluing all the time, and scrapbooking. I did a lot of scrapbooking. I did, oh, the explosion boxes. Those are awesome. Does anyone do those, the crafts? Who was it that does card making? Someone recently I was talking to, they do cards. What about leather and lace? Now we're talking. Leather and lace sounds great. It was Monica. That was you. I did start early today. I'm sorry. I changed my time. I'm sorry, Monica. I started early because I was keeping an eye on all the different lives tonight. And I know Bland's Promised Land Ranch goes live on Wednesday nights, and Ridgeline goes live at 9. So I didn't want to run into his timeline. So, but no, it was Monica Katie. She was the one that does, she does scrapbooking too, right, Monica? Because I was thinking like explosion boxes are so cool, and to do like a little tutorial on how to do an explosion box, they're pretty easy to do. They're just a little bit time consuming, but I think that's something that people would just be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And it's all supplies that you can get at the dollar store. G Mama, I'm a duct tape. Hey, I have seen videos of some pretty awesome stuff that people do with duct tape. You can make wallets. My daughter has made so many different things with duct tape and painter's tape and all kinds of tape. She loves tape. Okay. Oh, Anne's with her grands. Oh, I love that you get to spend so much time with them. My parents are in Alaska, and it sucks. Okay, so I need to know more about this leather and lace. That's what I want to know. Tatted lace and leather of some things. I'm thinking out loud. Oh, I'm sorry, my nose is, I think that I'm allergic to this wig. So you do tatting? That is amazing. I took a tatting class with a friend of mine a few years ago. We all sucked so bad that after an hour, none of us had gotten past just the link stage. Like it, it was an absolute disaster. I've done a bit of crocheting. I can sew. I can do, you know, some. I'm not great at hand sewing either, hand embroidery or anything like that. Give me a sewing machine, please. But yeah, I stank. I was like, I have a book on tatting. I should send you the book. I have a book on tatting. I have the little kit that came with the class I took, and I never looked at it again. It was so bad. So you do leather stuff and craft. That is awesome. So yeah, if you want to, so let me know if you want to do, you don't show your face in videos, so do you? So you can do the video showing your stuff. You can send me a clip of the video, or again, like I said, we could go as a live, and we can try to, you know, we could even do it as a group, you know, like Hollywood Squares or something like that, right? Explosion box sounds fun. Oh my God, G Mama, it is so fun. And you know what? I hadn't even thought of it until like right this minute. I don't know if I can, I'll see if I can pull up a picture of one. I used to make them as gifts for like family and friends, and then I would fill them up with pictures. So I'll just explain. I'll never find my pictures of it. So what it is like a little, it looks like a box that has a lid. And then when you open the box, the whole thing kind of flops open, and it has like several different layers inside. And then there's pictures on the front and the back. So you kind of flip them up and look around, and there's little pictures, and you can put little sayings. You can do all kinds of really fun, fancy stuff on them. And then when you're done, you put it in the little box, and then it can sit like on the counter or whatever. You can do like really pretty, fancy scrapbooking stuff. I still have my, hey, and if more than one person wants to do the explosion box, go for it. But honestly, the explosion boxes, they take a little bit of time and a little bit of math with the cutting and the ruler. But honestly, it's $5. You can go in and buy beautiful scrapbooking paper at the dollar store. You can buy the cutter there as well. It's great. I'll keep it simple so you can do tatting and record it for you. Aw, thank you. So you can do flat tat. Oh, I don't know. Honestly, it was such a bad experience, and I have so many other crafts that I already do that, you know what, maybe I'll save that for the next lockdown. That's what I'll do. You know what? Do whatever you want. Do what you think the people want, and that might suck them in to wanting to try it, or show off. Show what you can do. Wow, everybody, right? Do what you want to do. Or, you know, or show the simple one, and then show, you know, examples of, and I'm saying 3 to 5 minutes, like you can do the video. If they go a little longer, they go longer. I'm not going to complain. Lives would bring in more views. I think so. The problem with that is I would not be able to do morning, like getting the timing for everyone could be a little bit more difficult. Do you think it would be important for the lives to be at the same time every single night? Because I can do it the same time every single night. Like I don't have anything going on in the evenings, but I do work in the mornings. Some days, most days, whatever. We're self-employed, so it's kind of all over the place. But I could do evenings. Do you think it would be important that it's exact same time throughout the week? I don't know, or if it's just kind of like, as long as I give everyone a heads up in the morning when I schedule it, so that it works better for the people that are doing the collab that day. I like the idea of the lives because then people can interact and they can ask questions with the person doing showing their craft. I use the patterns in my head, none are written down. Really? You're like my neighbor who makes the most amazing food. And when I ask her, oh, how did you make this? She doesn't know. She doesn't know measurements. She doesn't. And I get that because I do that too, especially with stuff I make all the time. But especially when it's a recipe from a different culture, it's like, I need to know like how much of this anchar masala am I supposed to be putting in, right? You know, is it like garlic powder? Is it like salt? Like how much are we putting in? You'll see what you can help. That sounds great. That would be great. And yeah, a live would be really fun. And then you could kind of just show while you're doing it if that's what you want to do. Am I keeping up with the chat, or is the chat, I'm just curious because I know a lot of other people. I mean, it's probably because they have a lot more people in their lives, but I'm just curious if I'm keeping up. Oh, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it, Lazy Days. That's no fun. Okay. Yay! I'm glad to hear that because I think it'd be a lot trickier. Write down the stitching so everyone knows. That is perfect. And then I can put that into the description. Also, like, let's say you come up with a recipe. Let's say you're like, I have no crafts. I don't know how to do anything. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to do anything. But I have some great recipes. So feel free to show the recipe. Like, not start to finish, like just make a little clip of it and show the finished product of it. And what we can do is make a very pretty downloadable recipe card. So instead of just like typing it in the description box, I can load it maybe into Canva or something and just make it something pretty so that it's a freebie, but it's not, you know, it's a little something, a little something extra, right? Hey, Farm and Egg Fag, come in, come in. Thank you so much. So, if you have any heating or air conditioning questions, we are talking about crafts and collabing on crafts. So I'm just going to catch up a few of the people that are just coming in now, just letting them know that I want to do like a 12 days of giveaways beginning of December. So what that's going to do is each day I will be featuring 1, 2, 3, depends on how many people sign up, different YouTubers and a craft that they share, whether it could be a cooking craft or a video or a recipe. It could be sewing. It can be knitting. It can be tatting. It can be, I was going to say arting, painting, anything like that. Any craft that you have, or thing that you like to do with the kids. Maybe you think this is super cheesy, but you know what? You do it with the kids. Or make your own Play-Doh. I mean, that's a great craft idea for people, you know, with the holidays coming up. Or making your own ornaments. Those like the baked ornaments, right? Like Martha Stewart has one for like porcelain baked ornaments, something like that, right? Arting makes sense. Thank you, Kiki. You're with me on that, right? So yeah, something like that. So it doesn't have to be something fancy. It doesn't have to be something that's worth, you know, that you would, you know, even sell at a craft show. It could be a body scrub. It could be something that's simple, and anything that's like that would have like, yes, yeah, something like that, Kiki. That would be a great little video, right? And then what we can do is then either link to, like, if you followed like an online tutorial, or if you found something on Pinterest and you printed it out, we would take those, you know, those directions and cutesy it up, maybe in Canva or whatever, and then have that as a like downloadable PDF file. I want to use the hashtags, I'm thinking crafty collab and handmade holidays. If anyone has any other ideas, handmade gardening or whatever. You know what, Gail? I don't really want to do the actual craft giveaway just because I know shipping prices are going up. I know people are going to be kind of already swamped, and I really, really don't want this to be, you know, something that people have to give, right? Like you're giving up your time, and just something that someone can download, I think is fine. I am working with a few of my pattern design friends to see if we can get some patterns that we can get like a code for, like it would be free that day. Because some people already have some freebies on their websites, something like that. So it would be where we would have at least one, bare minimum, at least one freebie that people could come to the video and download that day. So they feel like they're getting a little something, something. Just a little, you know, happy holidays. Thanks for coming, giving back. But I do not want to put any extra pressure or time constraints or financial load on anyone that is collabing, because I know that for the craft that you make, you can give it to a family member, you can give it to a friend that you need to give a gift to, right? Instead. So holiday crafting, that works. I like that. That's nice. Hi, Viola. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, so if you're interested, I'll see if I can find where I put the link again. Just sign up. So sign up. And do you think, I think it would be better to kind of spread out the different crafts. So let's say I'm doing 3 different people a day, instead of having like all 3 that are sewing one day, because that's going to bring in the sewers. It would be better to mix up the crafts. So say we have a sewist, as we like to call ourselves. We don't like the term seamstress because seamstress implies tailoring and taking stuff in. And when someone hears that you are a seamstress, they want you to have their pants. and that's not going to happen. So we prefer sewist or sewer, but it looks like sewer when it's written as sewer. So we have agreed on the term sewists or bag makers. There's been a lot of discussion in the sewing community what we should call ourselves, because we don't like the term seamstress. So yes, hello G Mama, hello everybody. So do you think that's a good idea, spreading it out, like different crafts, kind of a mix each day, so that we can really draw in more people to watch it, and more people can share it out into their crafting groups? Hopefully, right? We want to get eyes. When would this start? Well, I'm thinking December 1st. Like, I would just do like an intro video, like, hey, this is what's coming. And then like the next however many days, like, it depends. Like, if we only have like 5 people sign up, then we could just do a few. If someone was like, oh man, I can't do it December's out, we can do it end of November. It's just, I'm gonna have to hustle a little. But so time, I'm thinking beginning of December, but we could actually end at the beginning of December as well. So it could be a countdown to December kind of a thing too, if people want to go that route. So thimble pushers. I never use a thimble. The only time I've ever used a thimble was when I was sewing my leather purse and I was trying to get that, I was shoving that needle through. That's the only time I've actually really used a thimble. I try to do as much on the machine as I can. Like, I don't do a lot of hand sewing at all. Yeah. You were thinking a different category each week. Well, I'm thinking every day, like days in a row, not like not a week. If that makes sense, or oops, ice cube attacked me. I had thought of that, but what would happen is, say you have sewing this video and this video is soap making. So people that are interested in sewing are going to watch the sewing video. People that are interested in candle or cake making are going to watch that one. But if you have them all mixed together, they're going to watch this one because it has sewing, and they're going to watch this one because they're sewing as well. That was just why I was kind of thinking of doing it that way. Yeah. But does it make sense why I kind of want to mix it all in? I don't want people to get bored of sewing too, right? Like if I do, if it's sewing this day and this day and this day, and you're not interested in sewing, you're going to just skip it, right? And you might not come back to the other videos where you're interested in them. On the first day of crafting my well, then I was thinking, like, I could do like the first video is one person, and then the second video there's 2 people, but then I was like, no, that would get, by the 5th, 6th day, that would just be kind of crazy, right? Oh my God, a crocheted quilt. That sounds absolutely amazing. From someone who's made scarves, I can't even imagine making an entire quilt. I have a friend locally that knits, and she'll be like, oh, look, I'm knitting myself a sweater. And I'm like, I don't understand how you can follow a knitting pattern. Like, I look at those numbers and whatever, and it's right. Well, no, I want feedback, like, right? Like, but people may skip through. It might be best for sewing in one and stay here are 3 projects. Well, you know what? We'll take a vote. That's, how do I do that? I don't think I can do polls on here, can I? You know what? I'll do it down in the comment section after the video. I will just put like, I'll just kind of form it as a question, and then people can kind of vote on it there. Because I don't know how to do a vote in StreamYard. I know other people do polls, but I think maybe because I'm not monetized yet, maybe that's why I can't do it. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't see anything for it. So the other thing I did want to talk a little bit about is the fact that I am at 441 subscribers. So yay. So I have some fun ideas for my 500 subscriber video. Thank you. I will do a giveaway for that. And I'm hoping my merch is ready by that time. So I will show you all that, a preview of that when I get it. I'm really hoping I have stickers by then as well. Oh gosh, I've been busy with work and processing peppers. So I've been doing a lot of things like that. I just haven't got around to finishing off my final sticker designs and all of that. So yeah, thank you. Woo! You do have to have on the K subs to do a poll, I believe. Okay, well, I'll quit looking then. Yeah. So yeah, at my 500, I will be doing a giveaway. And it's going to be like a games night. So stay tuned. That's going to be fun. I've got some ideas. We'll have some contestants, some participation, some games, some gifts, some guava, and I think I will be having some gin in mine that night. So it's just going to be a party. I think that'll be fun. And speaking of parties, is Nikki still here? OCD-ish chick. Is she having her... Nikki, are you still here? Nikki. I don't know if she's still here. Let me see if she's coming up in the... Oh, I can't tag in that? Yeah, she's still here. All right. You are doing your... Are you going live Saturday night? Are you having your... I don't know where she's at. We'll have to wait for her to come back. She's still in here, so I can do it. Yeah, I will be the referee. Games I have to... You can be a referee. Bring your whistle. Bring your whistle. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be fun. So, all right, I'm gonna put this out here. If anyone wants to come up and talk and give their ideas, they are more than welcome. My back is so sore. This chair. I gotta reposition. So we were on a job last week, and I was coming down the top of the stairs, and I was carrying something, and I slipped. They had like these very thick carpet on the top of the stairs. It was rounded, and I was too close to the edge, and my foot just went, and I slipped, and I fell, and I landed, thank God, on the top step, on my bum. And I was like, oh my God, that was embarrassing. Nobody heard anything. Nobody came. Nobody saw. But yeah, my back's been kind of sore ever since then. It's been a little stiff. So I did a very long yoga the other night, and I should do it again. I should do it again tonight. I do stretches every night, but I think I will have to end up doing that a little bit longer. All right. So people are saying hello. We still haven't heard from Nikki. Nikki, are you there? It says she's still in the chat. Maybe she got up to do anything. Oh, and Kiki, I apologize that I wasn't actually able to listen in on your live tonight. Yes, this afternoon. But I did watch the whole thing. Nikki, there you are. So are you having anything special coming up Saturday that you might want to talk about? Oh, you're eating. Okay, no problem. I just wasn't sure on the date and time of that. Because Miss Nikki here is hitting her 1K Saturday at 7:30. Okay, you're done now. No problem. Yeah. Saturday night, 7:30. If you are not subscribed to the Everyday Life of an OCD chick, OCD, I always say that wrong, OCD-ish chick, go subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell and come hang out at her party Saturday night at 7:30. Is that Eastern or Central or? So it's gonna be 8:30 my time. Yeah, Saturdays. Do you have it up on your site yet? Like, do you have it listed on your site coming up, or are you just waiting to add it later? Because if you do have it up on the site, we can drop the link now. If not, go on over. It's going to be a fun time. Bring your drinks, bring some snacks, hang out at Nikki's. That'll be great. Yeah, so Kiki, I saw you on there, and then I got talking to my mom on the phone. So I didn't mute you. I turned you down, but I watched, and you had some lovely peppers. And then right when I was just about to hang up with my mom, and my dad called. So I was like, okay. So I didn't get to watch your live. I didn't get to watch Broke's live. I was doing my daughter duties today because, well, I do talk to my mother every day on the phone, and I talk to my dad most every other day-ish or something like that if he's busy or not. They are in a retirement community, a retirement home in Anchorage, Alaska, but they are on different floors because my mom, when she fell and broke her hip 2 years ago now, yeah, 2 years ago now, she never regained her ability to really walk and take care of herself. So she needs a higher level of care, but they are in the same building-ish. Well, they're kind of connected buildings, so they're in the same facility. And then my dad just has like his own apartment basically in the other section. And so he gets to, if they're not locked down, he gets to come over and see her every day. He takes her up for lunch, up to his place for lunch, about 3 times a week. And then they usually go out on Sundays. So it's turned out to be a very good arrangement for them, but they had to move to Anchorage in order to do that. And they were in Fairbanks, and it's about 8 hours away from there. So they ended up moving there, and they don't know anybody there. Right. So yeah, I talk to my mom on the phone every day, anywhere from like a half an hour to an hour. It depends. So, but now that dad's taking her for lunch, then I have to call her in the evening on certain days. And so it's just kind of, I'm not always as available to watch things as I can, but I do like to at least support and, get you some watch hours at least. So that was what I was doing today. Thank you. Yeah, it's bittersweet. It's the best situation that they could be in. And so I am grateful for that. And I try to remember that, where they're at. It's a Pioneer home, which is a state-run retirement home. And so it's got, it's a very nice run facility. My dad, like, he has his own car and everything there. They can still go out and do whatever they want if they want to. So I don't know how. It's not romantic if you ask them. They would much rather be living in their cabin out in the middle of nowhere, which is not a great idea for seniors that have mobility issues. So yeah, anyways, I'm happy with where they're at. They're not so happy, but it's a much, it's an ease on my mind and my heart, knowing that they are in a place where they can be taken care of properly. And I don't have to worry about dad slipping and falling outside while he's shoveling, 5 feet of snow, because where they were living was, like a half an hour outside of Fairbanks. Zone 2 gardening, if you're interested, that would be a zone 2, 2A, 2B, depending on the area there. Yeah, so it can get really bad. So they mean that they can go out today. Yes, and they have been doing that. So they've been going on Sundays. Usually they'll go out for like a nice lunch. So mom wanted to go to Applebee's last week because she was craving their Oriental chicken salad. So apparently that was amazing. Zone 2, I know, right? See, I was born in Fairbanks, and my dad was into gardening up there, and he had a big greenhouse. And then what he would do is he would do like these big berms, I guess what we would now call like a no-dig bed, basically. So he would mound up the soil in the fall, and then he would cover it with black plastic. So like he would use visqueen, right? It was like a thick black plastic to heat the soil. So as soon as it got any sun on it, it was heating up that soil. And then he would go in and he would cut little X's to plant in his starts. And the thing with Fairbanks, it's zone 2. It has a very, very short growing season, but they have 24-hour sun. And the plants love it. He said it was the sweetest, biggest, best, most beautiful broccoli, cauliflower, anything like that you've ever tasted. The tomatoes, the plants, if you can get it to grow, it goes bananas with the 24-hour sun in the summer. So it's almost like it gives you a longer growing season. But yeah, zone 2. They're in Anchorage now, which is around a 4B. They're not far from GT Junior. He's not very far actually from where they are in Anchorage. So I'm assuming they're, but it's funny. Like if you look, you probably have no idea what Anchorage looked like, but It's bottom middle part of Alaska, and the city is kind of up on this inlet. And it ranges, like if you look at the zone 4, if you look at the like the zone maps for the USDA zones, it ranges from like zone 3 to zone 7, all in that, you know, within like an hour radius because of the mountain. And then if they're on the western side where the cruise ships come in, I think it's almost like a zone 7. Like parts of southeastern Alaska are technically a rainforest. So like Juneau, Ketchikan in there, it is a rainforest. It's not a tropical rainforest, but it is a rainforest. They don't get a lot of snow, but they get a ton of rain. And that means that they actually have a, you know, a fairly moderate growing zone. But because of all the rain, they have a hard time growing a lot of things because, right? So it's a bit of a trade-off. So GT, where he's at, being as he's getting snow right now and not rain, that means he's probably in a slightly sunnier location. Yeah, my mom was born and raised in Juneau, and she said she remember one summer they had 3 days without rain. 3 days without rain. And she said if they were in school, if it wasn't raining, they would get the day off from school. So I grew up in Oregon. Like I was born there, but we moved down to Oregon when I was young, and most of my schooling was in Oregon. And like we would get like, you know, a dusting of snow, and it's like schools are canceled. We would get snow days. And we had quite a bit of rain down there, but my mom's like, this is nothing. So yeah, they would actually get a day off of school. They would get rain days. So fun little tidbit about growing up in Alaska. Yeah. And then what was I going to say? She said, oh, my mom. So if you're familiar with Juneau, it is a water-bound city. So it's right in like this kind of like a cove of this mountain, right? So it's the mountain and then the city. So there's no road in or out. So the only way in or out of Juneau is by plane or by boat. And back then they would have it once a week on Wednesdays. So once a week on Wednesdays, if you were trying to get in or out of town, you could either take the ferry would come in, or you could take the boat, or the plane, and that was it. So she grew up on canned milk, canned food, canned everything, and then like, you know, trying to grow stuff yourself there. And their house was on the beach, which sounds beautiful, but it was a very tiny house. It was a shack, basically. They had 6 kids at the time, and the tide would come up, and so half of the day it was just like this long kind of dirty beach that they lived on, and then the other half of the day, half of the house was, you know, underwater as the water would come up. And that's where they learned to swim. They learned to swim there at the glacier. Yeah, house on a beach is scary. Yeah, and they had a boat that there was like some washed up boat that they used to play in, but there was a hole in the boat, and apparently their mom like never knew about the hole in the boat, and so they would take the boat out, and they're like in the ocean, in the harbor there, and like one person, they would take turns. That person would have to bail for their life, and there were a couple of times where my mom and her sister floated out into the deeper parts of the water on an iceberg. They were on a log, and the log started rolling, and they're like, oh, this is probably not a good idea to be on the log. So, well, not the house, like it was built on stilts, right? So the water would come in and come up under the house, right? Because it was built on the beach. But yeah, so her and her sister, I don't know how old they were at this time, they decided to jump off the log onto an iceberg that was floating past. And fortunately, their mom saw, like from a distance, what was going on, and they got rescued by a fishing boat. That happened twice. You would think the first time you had to get rescued by a fishing boat off an iceberg, you would have learned your lesson. But yeah. Yeah, the house coming. Yep. Yep. And then every morning they would have to go out and clean up around the house because the bears would come and knock over the garbage and trash the place. So, yeah. I know, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, when she tells these stories, it's like, oh my gosh, like the stuff that they would do. And the mom would just be like, doo doo doo. And like one time, my brother-in-law, I mean, my uncle, um, he was a teenager, I guess, at the time, and his job was to thaw the pipes. The pipes had frozen in the house, and so he was supposed to be thawing them. And so in Alaska, if you want to heat it up quickly, sometimes people use a blowtorch, and it's not, it's not recommended, but they do. So he was in the bathroom or wherever. Yeah, he was in the bathroom, and he pulled like the insulation back, and he was, heating up the lines with the blowtorch. And then my grandmother said she was going to the store. Does anyone want to come? So he wanted to go. So he finished what he was doing, and he put the insulation back really quickly. And him and the two older kids went to the store with my grandmother. So my mom is home, and she's the youngest of the five girls. So there's five girls, my uncle, and then five girls. My mom's the youngest. And so the middle child, my Aunt Judy, all of a sudden they're in the house and they're like, is that smoke? Like there's smoke. And they go and they open the bathroom door, and like smoke just comes wafting out into the house. And so, a normal, hopefully average child would have thought, oh, smoke, fire, get out of the house. No. My aunt went and got a flashlight and decided to give the rest of the siblings a guided tour through heaven. Yeah, so if you think I'm weird, I come by it honestly. And when I hear these stories that my mom tells, sometimes I am shocked that any of them survived childhood. Yeah. So, yeah. So they didn't do a lot of, there was no way to do any farming or growing there because honestly, it would have just washed out with the tide. And talk about salty, sandy soil. That would have really been bad. But no, my dad really got into gardening up in Fairbanks, of all places. And he used to grow corn. He used to grow all kinds of things. And then when we moved to Oregon, I just see, Lisa. Oh, it's from Roseburg. Very nice. I had some families down in, what was the one? I can't remember the name of it. It'll come to me. So when we moved to Oregon, my dad, we had built a property house just a bit outside of town. We had a little creek that ran through it where my sister and I would play and collect frogs and things like that. And I don't know if it was like an acre, half acre, something like that. And my dad in the back, he had a little orchard. He had corn. He grew, lots of different vegetables. I could have cared less at the time. I was not the least bit interested. Interesting story. When they started the garden, I was 2 years old. It was in the spring of 1980. And my parents and my mom's family, everyone kind of came over to help put in the garden. That was like the plan for that day. They all came to help out. And that was also the day that Mount St. Helens decided to erupt. And so we were about 4 hours south of Mount St. Helens, and there was just volcanic dust and fog, as they call it, all in the air. And again, normal people would have said, maybe we should wait and do this another day. But not my family. No. Dad just passed down face masks. Yeah, so I was always kind of, I think, traumatized by any kind of dystopian stories where they would say things about, people, the oxygen's going to be bad, in 2000, the air is going to be so bad. Everyone's going to be wearing masks. I remember watching a movie in school and I was really disturbed by it. But yeah, apparently I was pretty freaked out at too, with everyone wearing masks and it just being like super smoky and cloudy and everything. But, yeah, I know Kiki's making me feel old. Don't make me feel old, Kiki. You weren't even thought about. Kiki's pulling a me because I'm always the youngest in my group that I hang out with. And so I always pull stuff like that. I see you. So yeah, but later I'm thinking, you were graduating high school. See, it all evens out. But that's because you get to retire, and us poor schmucks have to keep working. Yeah. Yeah, but coming to think of it, 87? Wow, you're 10 years younger than me. All right, because I was, well, I was 78, so, at the very beginning of 78, so close enough. There we go, more living for us. And more stories. I have more crazy stories to tell. Because I have lived a very rich and crazy life. I can tell you that. When my mom was in the hospital, they kept thinking that she had, like, I mean, she does have a bit of dementia from her stroke, but they were thinking that she was really, really loopy for the way she was answering these questions they were asking her. And I would have to interrupt and tell the nurse, like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's totally true. Like, it, the way she was answering stuff, it was funny. You were -5. That's all right, Stacy. We like you better now. You're not as young. Yeah. Well, we did this job for this couple this week, and they had 5 kids, and he just turned 30. And I was like, my husband are like, 30? Oh, we feel so old. Or when there's this young guy on one of the jobs that we do, and he's in his early and mid 20s, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I would have been 14. I'm 14 years older than him. So technically I could have been his mom, or Randy could have been his dad, because Randy's older than me. But yeah, it's kind of disturbing because you're just sitting there chatting with him, you know, whatever. And then you were like, oh my God, I'm old enough to be your mom. Yeah. 87. I was 2. All right. Hey, Tasha. Oh, she grows. Tasha, are you part of my seed swap group on Facebook? I forgot I was going to ask you that on your video. If you're not, you know what? That's what I need to post the link for. I'll do that really quick. Because, yeah, I will totally send you seeds for the... there we go. So I keep forgetting to say this. So if anyone is interested, I have a seed swapping group on YouTube for gardener YouTube channel people. So you'll see people you know over there. And if you want to swap some seeds or whatever, then for sure, right? Okay. Did you graduate? I graduated cum laude, actually. But louder or louder works for me too. Yeah. Thank you, Tasha. I'm having fun with it. I'm starting to get used to it. At first, I was really ready to just rip it off, but it's growing on me. I don't think I'll be wearing a wig anytime soon, though. I'm glad that we are older and we can see the fun stuff, but we can also see we might have known done this. Yeah, I know a lot of people are really glad there was no social media when they were in their teens. I was a good girl. So my social media would have been lame, but I mean, it would have been fun and crazy, but it was definitely nothing really that I would be embarrassed of, honestly. Yes. Did I get everything? We're still bragging about how young we are, right? Okay. Yeah. And then the job we did today was this couple, and they're in their 80s. And they're an older Italian couple, and I don't know how many times she offered me coffee, and she kept wanting to make me sandwich and food, and they were delightful. And they had 2 friends that were over visiting, 2 other older ladies, and they were all in the other room. They were laughing the whole time. And then the older gentleman, just out of nowhere, he just started like belting out like opera, and he was good, like, you know, and just, you know, we were busy, you know, working in the other room wearing the respirators, but I really wanted to go and just see, like, you know, to just learn more about them. I find, you know, just listening to people, you know, the experiences that they've had. It's just amazing how many different lives people can cram into one life, so to speak, right? Like when I moved to Florida, we were in a retirement type villa condo. Like my parents were the youngest. I was a good girl. It was the adults around me. Sure. I know I was always, kind of crazy and zany and the one singing. And if I was like walking down the hallway and I was quiet, people would ask me, "Are you okay? Are you depressed?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine. Why?" I'm just like, "You're not singing, you're not whistling, you're not, whatever." So it was just, I've always been a bit of an extrovert, I guess you could say. But yeah, when we lived in Florida, my parents were the youngest people in the condo, and everyone else had retired to Florida and had been there for a very long time. But they all had these amazing stories, and they would have happy hour on Wednesdays with BYOB down at the pool, and they would bring snacks to share and drinks, and a couple times people fell in the pool, which is not as funny when they're 80 years old. It's a little more concerning, but they were all right. But yeah, like this one gentleman, like I was like, how did you do so many different things? He used to own a nightclub in Chicago back in the day, and that was how he met his wife. She was a jazz singer, and he had this wall in the entryway covered in photos of him and like every famous jazz musician you could think of. He was there with Ella Fitzgerald, and I just blanked on every jazz. I'm huge into old jazz. He had like Dinah Washington, he had Nat King Cole, he had Duke Ellington, he had Dizzy Gillespie. Like I'm like, oh my God, right? And then next to it, he has, his after he sold that, he was a fireman for like 30 years and he retired from that. And then he had like 3 or 4 like full careers and it's like, how old is this guy? Like it's just amazing. Were you ever in drama or a club or the debate team? No, I was not. And I really, really wanted to be. And you can imagine my I did take 4 semesters of public speaking. My public speaking teacher really, 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 really wanted me on the debate team because I can argue about anything. But I was not allowed. I was raised in a very strict, repressive, shall we say, upbringing, which I know might sound surprising. But fortunately, I broke free from that in my early 20s, but we were not allowed to join in any extracurricular activities at school. So I was not allowed to join the debate team or drama or play sports or join the band or choir or go to prom or go to any basketball games or hang out with anyone that was not of my religious sect outside of school. So yes, very, very repressive. And I try to force my daughter to do things. Join this club, join that. She did join drama club this year, so I'm excited about that for her. But she has no interest. I'm like, because I really, really, really wanted to do a lot of those things. And yeah, oh well. Who knows, right? Thank you. Yeah. But now I get to do YouTube, so it's not all lost, right? Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, public speaking was probably my favorite class in high school. Public speaking or computer programming, which I know probably sounds very contradictory, but I loved computer programming. I took 4 years of it. I took, 3 years. I took basic, which back in the day, you're putting your, oh my goodness, lining those numbers up. So yeah, I took basic, and then I took 4 semesters of Pascal, and then I took C++. But I graduated in 96. So it was right before really the internet hit. We had the internet at school, and it was one computer in the library where you could basically log on through dial-up, and it would take like 5 minutes to an online encyclopedia, right? Computer programming was what someone wrote on the chalkboard. I hated public speaking. Look at me now. Yeah, no, I loved public speaking. I actually did do quite a few things in for the public speaking program. And I did go and give speeches at like the Rotary Club and things like that, representing the school, talking about the school. So that I was able to do because it was during the school. And they have some good lunches. Let me tell you, those Rotary Club people aren't messing around. We had steak and mashed potato. Like, it was good. It was very good. Visual Basic, yes. Visual Basic, that was, oh my goodness. Yes, those were the days. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing to think in 96, like that's what internet was like. And by 98, 2 years later, we had America Online. I was chatting with friends from across the country in ICQ. Do you remember ICQ? And that is why to this day, I still type I do this all the time in the smiley faces in the chat. Because that was well, you're supposed to do a capital. But I don't always hit the capital. But yeah, so that's why I still do that. It's just a habit that I have a really hard time breaking. And I know was it Brooke Farmer was like, what is the D thing? What does she keep doing? And I was like, oh, sorry. That's old school smiley face. And then we had the winky face, right? Good old emojis. Those were the emojis. Yeah. So yeah, so in 2 years because when we went, my parents like to travel a lot. So the year I graduated high school in 1996, we went to Italy and Hungary. So we were with a tour group and we toured through each of those countries. Hungary was absolutely beautiful. And I will tell you right now, the food there was better than Italy. Don't tell Italy I said that, but I enjoyed the food in Hungary more. And it was absolutely beautiful. It was the middle of summer. It was super hot. And we were in a tour group and we made some friends. And there were 4 young people my age. And we got to be really good friends over that, 2.5 week period. And then, we got back to the States and, long distance calling was expensive. And so it was basically letter writing. And honestly, after a few months, it was really hard. I had Jenny and I would write letters, maybe every 6 months or, it just kind of lost. And then 2 years after that, in 1998, we went on another tour group trip and we went to New Zealand and Australia. And by that time, we all had internet. We all had email addresses. We had AOL. We could message. We had ICQ. And when I got back home, because I was living in Oregon at the time, I had friends. A lot of them were from, excuse me, I get a hiccup. There were some that were from Georgia. There was one from Tennessee. Like they're from all over the states. And we would literally like have group chats like we're having right now. Like at least once a week. And we kept in touch for years. And it makes me sad thinking about the friends that I had made just 2 years previously that I completely lost touch with. The magic of the internet. And, I know a lot of times people want to focus on how horrible it is and everything, but, like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad, right? I went to Croatia and to Italy and I liked the food in Croatia a lot more. Yeah, like Italy, I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong. Like the prosciutto and the gelato, like was amazing. But I don't know. And I think part of it too was the way we were treated. In Hungary, they rolled out the red carpet and we had fabulous meals. There was live performances every night. They were so incredibly hospitable. And then we went to Italy and they were more like Americanos, right? And so a lot of times the meals that we were provided were like just in the hotel. And it would be like a bowl of pasta that a tomato might have looked at some point. Right. So, the food that we had in some of the restaurants was really good, but a lot of the food that we were provided in the tour just wasn't. In Hungary, we were treated like royalty. And so that but the live music was amazing. I fell in love with that kind of gypsy music vibe, right? Like it was, I don't know. And polka, I love a good polka. You cannot be depressed listening to polka. I'll tell you right now. You feel sad, you feel depressed, you roll out the barrel and you are going to be up and dancing in no time, right? Hey, E3 Farmstead. Hello, welcome over. Yeah, so I think she's the only one that's come in kind of after the collab talk. So I can talk with you on Instagram later. But yeah, I have the spreadsheet up. I will send you the link. I'll post the spreadsheet link again. I can't find it. There it is. Copy and paste. There we go. So that's the spreadsheet. So I'm sorry, I can't listen to polka, would drive me mad. I don't know. Frankie Yankovic. Come on. I do. Thank you so much, Kiki. Thank you so much for coming and being here with me. I really, really appreciate it. And I will get Lazy Days Ahead on as my other mods. I think I can do it in StreamYard, but I can't do it when I'm broadcasting. I can do it after. So I will do that. So then you're not on the hook. But I do appreciate you. I appreciate you modding for me tonight. And I'm probably going to log off soon anyways. It's almost 9 o'clock. I know Ridgeline and a lot of other people are going live soon. So yeah, just like think about what I said. Like if you edit your video like how you want it and send it to me, and or we do lives, it's not going to take as much time on my part to do like the actual editing and the video editing. So just make sure you put your name, fill out that chart, because the sooner that chart gets filled out, the sooner I know how many people I'm dealing with, and the sooner it will be able to figure it out and organize it and get everyone knowing what's going on, right? Next time you go to Italy, tell them you know the model. Thank you. Sorry, that doesn't work very well with a pink wig, does it? Nope. Not the least bit intimidating in a pink wig. No. So yeah, so think about it. I'll post the link in the description below, and I am going to be talking to some of my patterning friends and see if we can't get either some free pattern codes or links or whatever. Thank you, Nikki. She's always here for me. She's always here for me. It's nice when I meet someone that gets my sense of humor. I appreciate you all so much for coming tonight, and I got another early morning tomorrow, so I am going to be logging off. I am thinking of maybe going to weekly lives, but maybe not Thursday nights. So I might keep Thursday night every other week, and then I might add in another day, like a daytime one. Rochelle. Ooh. Yes, I just want to have fun. Yes, that, and I didn't want to have to fix my hair. That's part of it too. It's up in a clippy. Because I had, today we were working at a job, we were converting a ceiling from stucco to smooth finish, right? So I had the hat on, I had the mask, and the mask I wear, the respirator, it fits like this, right? And it has the straps, the two straps that come in that sit here. So I come home from work every day, not with hat hair, but with mask hair. And then I had the hat on top of that. So it was all kinds of nasty. So, yeah, but we're sanding it tomorrow and we're done, and I'm wrapping it up. Thank you again, everybody. And don't forget, go check out Nikki's live Saturday night at 7:30. The Everyday Life of an OCD Chick. She's right there in the chat. There she is. Nikki, leave a comment, and after the live, leave a comment about your with a link to your channel. So everyone, if they're in here and they're not subscribed, they can go find you and go check out your live. And anyone else, if you want to leave a comment after the live down in the comment section, it makes it easier for people that are in the chat. If they're not following already, they can't click on you here in the chat comments. But if you comment in the live, outside of the live, if you comment after down in the comment section, then people can see your link to go and check out your channel. So thank you so much. Adios. Mwah. And happy Halloween. Hopefully it's a good night for the kids, right? Good night, Andale. Good night, Stacy. Good night, Jesse and Lisa. Good night, Nicole. Good night, Sweet Spot. Good night, Nikki. Good night, Farm and HVAC. Good night, Monica. Good night, E3, Sarah. Or, oh, I don't know. Is it Chris? Is it Sarah? Because normally if Sarah, she comes in as Mrs. E3, but she might be taking over the whole channel. I don't know. Kiki's already gone. Did I get everybody? Did I miss anybody? Tasha. Mrs. Lazy. Oh, she logged into... I didn't even realize you had a separate name in there. Sorry about that. What is she up to? Everybody that came in, I really, really appreciate. And I will see you all Saturday night at Nikki's. Take care.